Good morning, students. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your computer teacher, waris Jamal. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic CSS for class 10th. Students, you can find my previous video. I am discussing about the CSS and the types and that how it is been implemented in the HTML or a web page. Today, I am going to discuss about a topic related to font and their properties. Students, font tag, you have already learned about the font tag that we use in HTML just before. So how can a font be used? How can the font property can be used in a CSS file? In this video you will learn this, and definitely you will apply in your web page and you will find the effect also. Actually, font is a, you know very well, a font is a tag. Font is a tag, you know very well. Font is a tag that you use here. In the font tag, you have studied about the size attribute, the face attribute, and color attribute in HTML. These are the three attributes that you have discussed in the font in HTML. But in my video today, I am going to discuss about the font properties. The font property can be font dash family, font family. This font family attribute, font family property is used to define, for example, you are defining a font for a paragraph. You can use just P and after the font, and then font family can be Arial, and font family can be monotype cursiva, and any format you can use. But in today's my video, I am going to discuss about the font family. Font family is used to define the actual font that you want to display the text in your web page. The actual text that you want to display in your web page. Students, how can you use it? You can you know very well, in my previous video I have already discussed in CSS you can apply your formatting style by three ways: by inline, by internal, and by external. If you are talking about how to apply a font in the internal, you can use these types of tag in the internal as well as the external. But if you want to use this font in as a inline, how can you use it? First of all, you have to use use a selector, and after the selector you have to define the style, STY and style, and then after give equal sign, and afterwards you just give the double quotation marks and type the font name FONT, font dash family, font family. This is the property, and afterwards you want to define the font family name, that means actual font name. Here I am defining Times New Roman. What is that? Times New Roman. This is my font that I am going to apply, and after that you have to just close this one. There should be you must notice that there should be a quotation marks. Under the quotation mark there will be proper, this is the property, and this is the value. The value you must define in the font, and if you want to apply it is in the internal, you have to just define the selector, and then define the font family, then define the font family name. If students, you want to define more than one font, you can use a comma between the font name, and it will be assigned. why we have to define two or more than three, two or more font is in this font family. For some time, if the particular font is not supported by the web browsers, particular font is not supported by the web browser, how can you identify that? Okay, how can you use? How can the text will be displayed? How can it will be displayed? So that can be displayed by choosing the another font that is available, that is given to you. When the programmer creating a web page, user don't know which types of font is available in the particular web browser or not. So it is mandatory to define multiple font, or you can say it is good for the programmer to define the multiple font, and that can be available, that can be used in the web browser. The next attribute about the font that I am going to discuss in my video is about the font size. The font size. How can you define the font size? In this video you will discuss. I am going to discuss the font size. How can you define the font size? The font size can be defined on the same way as you have defined here. You just simply, if you want to define in the selector, your selector is in paragraph, so then you have to just use a paragraph P, and afterwards, after the paragraph, you have to just give the style, and after the style you have to give the font dash size, then you have to use colon sign, and you have to define the size of the font can be 15 pixel, and afterward you have just to close it. Afterward you have to close it. Okay. And if you want to use another unit of the font, that can be style. This is all about the font style in the inline attribute, in the inline style. Font size that can be 15 em. Em is the another unit. 1 em equal to 16 pixel. 1 em equal to 16%. So I am defining the font size is 15 em. So can you imagine what is the size? This is the another unit that have used in the font size. Okay. You can also use another way, the font P style font dash size in percentage. In percentage means the percentage will be 10%. Okay, 10% is the size. 10% means it displays the actual screen resolution. What is the size of a screen? It will display the screen size 10% of the 10% of the screen. It will be displayed. So students, the three different techniques that I have discussed here to use the font. The first one is by using the PXL. The second was by using EM, and the third one is by using the percentage. And in place of PX, you can use PT also, point size. This is the fourth way that can be used in the CSS to defining the font size of the particular text. So thank you for watching my video, and keep learning through my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.